All right, well, welcome to the final nine of the 2019 Evansville Open. My name's Stephen Waits, and I'm joined by our co-commentator for this event, Logan Marshall. Now, Logan, you shot a 13 under at Woodmere Disc Golf Course as we watch you tee off here. What was that like to get that course record?
Well, it felt great. That's one of my home courses. I went out there looking to bounce back after round one. I started out with 8 or 9 birdies in a row and then hit some real long putts down the stretch to really finish it off. So I was pleased with that.
All right, so before we get started in this final nine real quick, I think we got a video coming up that John Kennedy caught of Caveman Dave, the only ace for the tournament.
That's right. This is probably Dave's Sunday Crew Wizard that he's throwing here. I don't think that's the first time he's aced this hole, and it probably won't be the last when he throws them like that.
Now moving on into the scorecard. So here we got Paul Oman, who's leading the tournament at 24 under par. You are in a tie for second at 19 under par with Matt Kern from Mariah Hill. And rounding out the final nine is Zach Kimmer from Indianapolis, Indiana with a solid 16 under. Some work left to do, though. So we'll get into it. Here's our TD, Ben Burkamp.
Appreciate you guys coming to the Evansville Open this year. We're going to have the final 4 guys. We got the first guy up, Paul Oman. He shot a 142 from Evansville.
Now, as we watch Paul tee off, you guys are playing an extended hole 5. You want to tell us about this shot here?
Yeah, like you said, this isn't even an alternate pad. This is just kind of thrown together for this round only. I've never played the hole myself, but we walked up to it thinking there's a hyzer through that gap on the right. Once you get through there, hope to miss some trees and leave yourself an easy approach.
There's double Mandos down there that probably give you a good route. We're not playing them for the final 9, but yeah, he still made them.
All right, next on the tee, shooting a 147. We'll go ahead and take the hot round that time. Mr. Matt Kern from Mariah Hill.
Yeah, man.
I'm not exactly sure what Matt's throwing here, but I'm guessing he's just looking to do the same thing as Paul. Throw a nice one through that gap and hope to kind of filter down.
We had a tree hit, but he still got a good lie out of it.
Shooting third, also at a 147. Evansville's own Logan Marshall.
Yeah, Logan.
I've got my D1 here. I know I need to keep it low to stay under that ceiling, and this disc gives me a good chance to maybe fight through some junk if I can keep it down.
Well, that was all tree meat on that first drive.
Rounding out our top 4, shooting a 150 from Indianapolis, Zach Kimmer.
Yeah,
Zach, representing the Indianapolis Disc Golf Club, is just 3 strokes back of you and Matt.
Now, 3 strokes isn't much when you're playing safari holes like this, and I know Zach is a player who's capable of getting hot.
Looks like Zach hit some early trees, all the trees down the left side, but when you throw that hard, you're able to fight through. Now, your second shot, you got pretty much just the right side gap. You got the trees down that right side and the guarding tree by the basket. Fights through the guarding tree, you're going to have a downhill putt for the bird. Now, Paul, lining up, he's got 2 gaps to choose from, but it looks like he might take that right side gap around the middle tree.
That's right. I'm not sure exactly what kind of tree that is, but it likes to catch discs, so you do not want to hit it. There, he's going right around it with a nice smooth hyzer.
He's wanting it to sit. Bounces, gets to skip along. He's going to have a comebacker, but it shouldn't be too far out. Matt with just a general approach shot. Lays it up next to the basket. Should be able to get in for that 3. Now Zach's trying to get over the bushes.
Yeah, it looked like a thumber there based on the shape of that one, and he spikes it right in there close.
You got a putt here to try to save your birdie.
Yeah, low ceiling, gave that one a little half go.
Now here's Paul's third shot. Trying to get a birdie in from circle's edge. That's a rare miss by Paul as we get a look at Matt Kern in for bird on hole 1.
Yeah, Zach threw that thumber about 200 feet high. Really had to rip it out of the ground there before this putt.
Getting his King Arthur on. As both of you guys clean up, we'll get a look at the leaderboard after hole 1. Matt and Zach with the birds. You and Paul stay even on that one. Matt first on the tee, taking the left gap back in the 5's fairway. You guys are playing the 4's basket.
Yeah, that left side is the more direct route. There is a low ceiling and you're going uphill, so you want to throw a shot that finishes right, but not have it come down too soon, or it'll end up cut rolling on you.
Zach here, next on the tee, into getting something through there. Makes it through the first gap here, but he clips that tree that we were talking about earlier, and I think that's what they're looking at now. So Paul's probably going to take that same route down the left side. Again, he gets through the gap. Looks like it's going to hold over. Hard to see from this view. Still going. He flips the limbs there. It kind of cuts it short.
It didn't hold over quite as long as he was hoping that it would, but it's still up there nonetheless.
Now our camera just repositioned itself. You looking at a different route?
Yeah, this route's a little more unconventional, but I've got a D1 here, pretty beat up. I just got to make sure I get over on it enough so that it can roll, and then it should cut left for me.
All right. I think we'll let Matt commentate on this one.
Man, if that would have stood. Oh my God. If that would have stood up.
There you go.
Yeah, and he's right. You ended up in a good area. I would have been happy with that kind of lie. Looks like we niced your drive.
Yeah, you can see it landed on that cut angle I was talking about, but I think it just didn't quite have enough to fight up the hill and get turned over to fall to the right.
Throwing a roller on a hillside like that's a tough one, but you still got it down there further than a lot of people would have been able to. Now we move into Matt's third shot. He's needing to get close to be able to save par, and he flies it long. He's going to have work coming back at that one. Zach's approach shot to the basket. I have an uphill putt, but he should be able to get the 3 on that.
Here I am in a similar spot to where I was earlier on hole 4. I bounced off the cage and rolled back down the hill, and I'm telling myself, just get it there, you know, maybe miss high or a little long, and I didn't even come close.
All right, now Paul has a familiar look if you're playing Mesker hole 4. He's probably going to have to get an anti-putt to get around these trees here. That was a clean one. It had the height, and it's just long and right of the basket. Man, Matt waves that by. He's going to wish he had that one back. He's going to have a comebacker here to try to save his bogey. And he's in for the 4. Zach cleans up his par, and everybody else here is just going to clean up their par as you're in. Paul's going to come in for his. Everybody's in a hurry to play. All right, quick leaderboard update. The only damage done there was Matt losing that birdie that he made on hole 1. He's back to tying with you.
Yeah.
This is the pumpkin hole, as we call it. We've got the pumpkin shootout tournament every year, and they stick a pumpkin on top of that that's, you know, got a pretty big bounty on it. So we're familiar with the old ace run here.
Zach turns his shot over. He's going to be 40 feet short and right of the basket. Have an uphill putt for the birdie. As we get a look at Paul getting ready to line up his shot.
I think Paul's lining up a putter here. He usually just smooths one out there. Can get pretty close on this hole. And just like that, he almost hits the pin.
That's a shot I'm sure he's quite familiar with. And you're up next. What are you trying to throw here?
I threw a sidearm during the round earlier. I decided to switch it up and go with the backhand. This is just a beat up A2 for me, and it comes out a little low.
I wish.
You're going to be down low with the bushes, having an uphill putt, maybe a low ceiling putt on it. Matt's going straight at it, but his 2 gets low. So really, Paul's the only one that got up by the basket. Everybody else is going to have an outside circle putt or just barely in it. There's Matt's up shot. or half run. Uphill, the hill is steep when you're down below it there.
Zach's just outside the circle here. He's going to go for a step putt, maybe a jump. Can't remember what he does here. A jump.
He wanted that one. He knows
Just
he's going to
missed
need
it.
him.
We got a fun little,
right on the edge.
we got a fun gap here from, about circle's edge uphill. There's a vine actually wrapped around my lie that is the gap I'm talking about. I guess I'm kind of leaning through it to make it easier on me.
And you made the putt look easy, especially uphill on that slope. Needing that birdie to try to get some strokes on Paul, knowing he's close to the basket already.
I'm not used to having somebody carry my bag, and after that went in, I couldn't find my caddy anywhere. I thought he was gone.
Probably took it and ran. Paul cleaning up that easy drop in. As everybody else cleans up their pars, you're really only wanting to get out of here with the birdie. Anything less than a birdie, and it's going to feel like a bogey, especially on a short hole. You're running out of holes, tournament's getting close to the end. You and Paul were the only two that were able to capitalize on the short hole. We got a couple of those mixed in, but that's something that you're going to need later on. Now we're looking at throwing from 8's tee pad to 9's basket, and this time of year with all the overgrowth, there's going to be a lot to contend with. Almost need to throw a flip-up forehand shot to be able to get it wrapped around the trees at the end and get it close to the bridge. And Paul's shot, he throws backhand and it just trails on him. It looks like a throw like that you're going to try to get out in the open and just have a easy approach shot. This being a par 4, you can get down there and get it in 2 once you're at the bottom of the hill.
I kind of got caught up in the moment here and thought I'd really go for it with a flip-up forehand. I didn't want to lay up for my 3. I was ready to please the crowd. They're not going to be too pleased with that. Neither am I. It's over there in the woods. Should have stabled up a little bit or just laid up maybe. But that's going to be a tough up and down.
Now Zach's got a strong forehand as you showed earlier.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to take the same line that I was going for. Maybe with a little more hyzer, a little more overstable disc, and we'll see if it works out for him.
Well, he's got the flex he probably wanted on it, but does he get the distance before it beefs up? It hit the tree, but he might have a spot over there.
Yeah.
Matt's wondering if there's spotters down there to find these discs, and sounds like people remind him that there is a gallery. So Matt's going for it. Here's what we were looking at from the basket, and Matt's shot came in short and right. Couldn't see it from there, but I wanted to give everybody a view of what we were hoping that we'd be able to see from up top.
Right, and what we're seeing here is a beautiful view of the majestic hole 9 green, probably the signature hole out on the original Mesker course. And Paul puts that one close for his 3.
Zach shot forehand around everything over the bridge, almost taking out a spectator. We couldn't really see him coming in from back there, and we're glad that ended up where it ended up. Matt trying to do the same thing. His is hyzering out soon. He's going to be short of the basket, but still have a look at it. He's on the green. And now we can find out where you finally landed. You were long, just up the hill, above the creek. Cameraman couldn't even get to you.
I'm in there somewhere. We're going to see a disc flying out here soon, hopefully. There it is.
There you come.
And that's a PA4 sidearm. I just really needed it to finish left.
So not everybody got down the hill. Not everybody got where they wanted to be. Probably nobody. But we might have a star frame here. I think Zach and Paul are pretty close. And even with the rough drives, you guys scrambled to get inside the green really well.
Right, and I think the way we scrambled on that hole is just a testament to kind of what got us in this final 9 to begin with. If we make a mistake, we know that our goal then is to get that 3 and move on.
Yeah, that was a thick-ass sidearm I seen.
Now we'll get a update after hole 4. You and Matt and Zach are all within 3 strokes of each other. Moving into a short hole 13. We're playing from the short tees on this one.
Yeah, Paul's throwing kind of a straighter rock here. I think he's going to go left of the bush and take that more direct route to avoid these early limbs off the tee.
Basket's sitting on a hillside, and that bush is really the only obstacle. Throw something that's just going to get over it.
That looks pretty good. Let's see where it goes. Yep, right
Had a
past the
good run.
basket. And short comebacker for his birdie.
All right, now with you up, are you looking at a A2 here? Or?
Yeah, I've got an A2 lined up here. Just going to take the hyzer route. There's a low ceiling off the tee with those limbs, but I got under it. And that one kind of settles in there nice and close for me.
So after seeing those shots and being 3 back, Zach's going to know that he needs to get in close. Try not to lose any ground here. His shot lit it right, but yep, it was low, and it caught that early bush, and that's going to make for a tough birdie shot. Uphill putt at the basket.
Yeah, he was deciding between a couple different discs there, and after you hit something, you always think, well, maybe it should have been the other one, but we've all been there before.
Now we'll watch Matt's tee shot. Same thing, just kind of get out right of that bush, try to keep it high. It was like it came out early, and he clipped the bush too. He's gonna be right down there next to Zach.
Yep, that bush got him as well. That comes into play from the long tee also. It really is what makes the approach a little bit tougher on this hole.
Matt for birdie, just short.
That's a pretty uphill putt. I know people always say the camera doesn't do it justice, and now I'm seeing that on this hole here. This is a little bit more uphill than it shows.
Hey, we're getting tired. Sorry, guys.
Matt has a good point. This was the first time in a while we had a 3-round event, 2 rounds on Saturday and 1 round on Sunday. So everybody here played around right before this final 9, and you guys had an hour break.
Tell you what, a couple of these courses too, both the Mesker courses will wear you out up and down hills, especially in the woods. There's a couple of holes where you just feel exhausted when you're done with them, and we're trying to finish strong here.
Paul still got a good downhill putt. Get a bird. Makes it anyways. You get up here to clean up yours. And Matt and Zach, they're both inside. They're going to clean up their par putts. So, again, you and Paul just separating yourselves. You're needing to gain strokes on him, but at the same time, you're putting a gap in, trying to get that solo second. You both are 3 under through 5 holes, I believe it is, and Matt and Zach are just not trying to let you get away too far.
Yeah, now this is a hole where it is an island green, and if you don't make it onto the island, it doesn't matter if you crossed inbounds or not, you're going straight to the short tee. Paul's got a great shot there. This is also uphill. You know, we got low hanging limbs on the left and then OB on the right. So I'm looking to work a flex over here and see if I can get it to hyzer back hard at the end.
Drive trails out to the right. Sometimes there's a headwind up by the basket that you can't feel from the tee pad, and either that or you just got over on the disc a little too much, but you're gonna have to throw from the drop zone.
Yeah, that's disappointing, because at that point, you know, the best score you can get is a 4 unless you ace from what is really the short tee. So I'm not counting on the ace. I think I've probably just got to take a 4 here.
Zach going straight at it. Dodges 1 tree and 2 trees. Goes
I think
in
he split the
tiger
gap.
hat.
Yeah. How about that? Hey, it's on the island, so
Doesn't matter how you get up there, and he's in bounds, which is all you're really looking for off this tee shot. Matt going with a long, low drive approach.
crowd really appreciated it. He just scooted it down the road. I think he went to college here, and that's somewhat of a local route.
You know, for being from the drop zone and going OB on your first throw, like that is an excellent approach shot. You're going to give yourself no question drop in, which is kind of what you need. You don't want to have to be trying to get a bogey save and losing any more strokes than what you will here, especially with Paul up underneath the basket.
I mean, we were about to see this, I think so.
And again on this one, another uphill putt for both of these guys.
Yep, I think Zach is just outside the circle, and he likes to jump from that range.
Hey, you caught the whole damn road all the way up.
Paul's going to come up for his
Now I will mention Paul's got his Sunday Cruise shirt on. He actually told me this is just like another Sunday in the park for him here over at Mesker. We come out here and play every Sunday morning with a certain group of guys that help take care of the course and just really enjoy each other's company.
All right, and then after hole 6, you had that OB bogey that lost your stroke on Paul, and then kind of brought you back into one with Matt.
Steven's standing. Let's see if we can get him to move.
I'm down there in the catch cam, and it looks like I've become the target, which I put myself a good distance down there to try to give something to aim at.
Yeah, I think Paul was trying to brush you back a little bit if he could.
Almost got down there. The road plays as a river, but you can be on either side of it for this tee shot. They're throwing the 18th basket, and it is a ways down there, but kind of a spine that you're throwing down with the road in the middle.
It really is a fun safari hole. Now this one I have done a couple times just messing around, and you know that you got a chance at 3 if you can put 2 really good shots together for a putt.
Yeah, that was a low.
That was a worm burner.
Yeah, that was a low line throw. They caught the road just right, and it looked pretty cool coming from the other angle. The camera didn't really show what it was doing, but it was just scooting right along the road and right along the gravel. Matt's drive. Caught a tree and got a big kick left. He might be far enough left though that he can have a view at it without being right behind a tree. Are you trying to throw a hyzer shot or something that flips up?
I've got something that will flip up just a little bit and then hopefully finish for me. And I know that I need to keep it down. We are going downhill, and with that hyzer angle, I just pull up a little bit on the finish. And as you can see, I'm throwing again. I'm the furthest one out. So got another line here, same disc. Just wanting it to flip up to get a late fade rather than an early one. And we'll see if I can shape up a shot that'll skip off that road down by the basket.
Path of the road really gives you a direction to get to the basket. The shot flipped
Look
up,
up, honey. Come on.
and it's going right though. That fence is OB, and you barely just stay in after coming through the woods.
Yeah, that was an aggressive play. I knew I had to push that fence if I wanted any chance of getting there, and just caught that limb.
Matt taking a tight route between about 4 trees and not even worried about busting knuckles on that one. He must have been far enough away, but that was a good
Great
approach
execution.
from
Yeah.
kind of getting out of jail back there.
Yeah, Zach actually has a decent look here.
That
Oh.
last tree kick.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize that it hit that tree. If he misses that, he's down there.
How about the basket?
Maybe in the circle. Who knows?
Him and Paul both have really good looks at it. Paul's going for that road skip, but he just caught it early. So nobody got down by the basket. Everybody's pretty much at the same general distance from it.
Now a 4 here is not a bad score by any means, but we all wanted that 3, and like I said, one bad shot will take it away from you.
There's a creek long. Nothing's OB, but you can really get into some trouble if you do get too far past this basket. Paul gave it a good run, but it kind of wrapped up around the backside of the tree, and you might have to struggle out from it. Matt's just trying to find a shot to get down to it.
Yeah, Matt's the guy. He doesn't throw sidearms much. He was thinking about a touchy little putter flick, maybe just joking with us, but he's gonna jump this one for sure.
Get over there.
Something overstable enough to get it down there, but probably not as close as he wanted to be. And Zach has the best look at it. You know, like you were saying, if he wouldn't have hit that tree, he would have definitely been down there by the basket and had a look at a 3.
Yeah.
He has
Now,
one from up here, but
after the tree kick, yeah, we still can't count him out. You know, he might have a run at this.
just left it right.
Yep, knew it right out of his hand.
All right,
Here's Paul looking to clean up.
Paul's going to have to stretch a little out. Those vines and low-lying limbs on that tree that he wrapped around is going to give him somewhat of an obstacle. And again, we see just that rare miss from Paul. That tree must have been just enough to force him left side of the basket.
You can hear the wind picking up just enough to make you nervous on a putt like this, but I jammed it in there.
You gain a stroke on Paul here, which is definitely needed. He was on a solid birdie run there. I think he got up to 4 under. Yeah, he's 4 under, and then you and Matt and Zach are all going to get your birds here.
Yeah. Wait for the camera.
Paul Kobe's it in there with the basketball shot.
We do want to give a shout out to all the players that stayed. You know, everybody here that you're seeing played earlier in the day, and then they all stuck around for the final 9. And when I was out filming, I want to make sure that we captured this. This is moving over to hole 1.
It really is awesome to see a group like this on these courses. The courses around here are pretty awesome, and this is probably our oldest of the 3 that we played in this tournament, if I am remembering right.
I do believe it is the oldest one, and this tournament's the first time in a couple of years that we were able to get all 3 courses in on one weekend and doing it by 2 days. It's been a while since we played it this way. Look at Zach's tee shot.
We're going from 1 to 2 here. Zach just throws the sidearm out there, looking to get in good position to have a shot to 2's basket through that tunnel.
That's all you can do from this tee shot. You want to get out there, give yourself a look. You go too short, you're going to have to throw a big forehand or a turnover. You go too long, you're going to be stuck in the woods. Matt here leading off with a backhand roller. Got through the trees, and it's still going. It stood up.
Yeah, unfortunately, he gets caught up in that ivy. Otherwise, it'd really be an ideal position.
Now here's your tee shot.
Yeah, I'm also lining up a roller here. I've got a pretty flippy disc. I want to make sure it got over, and it actually got over so quick that it didn't get right enough for me. So we'll see what I can do from there. Paul's lining up a backhand also. I'm not sure if he went with air shot or roller, but we'll find out. Oh yeah, he's old school. Just your everyday backhand turnover.
And he could have been in a better place.
He is in a great spot. This guy knows what he's doing.
All he's doing is just throwing hole 2 with about another 100 feet on it. So the disc selection should be easy to pick. You get it across 2's steep head through that gap, and the basket straight ahead.
No, right, and you are going up a hill, so to get where Paul, wow, that's a great shot. To get where he is, you have to push the ceiling in order to not crash into that hill and really put some pace on it. And I mean, he's up there right where you want to be.
You probably wanted something that would just stay out to the right and hyzer in. You could have had a look at it, but it came out early maybe.
I didn't have room for a pure hyzer, so I actually had to throw that same disc from earlier on a little flip up and really make it a skinnier out. Just didn't quite get through clean.
Exactly, with that forehand, like we were saying, he cut off too soon. And he probably put too much mustard on that when he sailed it out to the left and caught the limbs and it knocked it down. If he would have hyzered out sooner, he would have skipped up, maybe rolled up by the basket.
Oh yeah. Let's see
Matt's
what
in
Matt
jail
can do.
again over here.
Probably
working out of the woods.
What seemed like the best tee shot, just kind of unfortunate to
he's not
stay
what
in
you
that
and Zach
stuff
are
over
at,
there
yeah.
to the left.
Another look at the gallery coming across 2's fairway.
I've got a long step putt uphill here, hoping to give it a chance. And it just runs out of spin. Kind of dumped off left, but I'm close for the next one.
Zach could be the next to go. So even with Matt in the woods, he still got further up the fairway than both of these throws. You guys do have a low line ceiling here and an uphill putt, so it's not the easiest jump approach. And I think if he wouldn't have clipped that limb, he would have had a good run at it. That was a good bit, just barely caught the limb of that tree, come out from underneath it.
Here's Matt with a similar look. Let's see if he can knock his down.
It looks like he left it just right. Paul's getting a pretty remarkable 3 on the hole, birdie, especially from hole 1's tee pad. It's very rare. And you'll clean up your par, and Matt and Zach will both come in. They get theirs. Paul's birdie pretty much gives him the win, but we're still going to get to watch a little battle on the final hole between you and Matt Kern and Zach Kimmer for 2nd and 3rd here.
All right, here we are headed to the final hole. Like you said, got a little bit of a walk to the tee, but it's worth it. This is a good safari hole to end on, very challenging. And for those of us in a close race, it could have some high stakes here.
Yeah, we got you, Matt, and Zach at 22, 21, and 19 under respectively. Going from 4's tee pad to 8's basket. Probably the 2nd longest safari hole that we'll play. Heavily contested trees all the way down this first shot. It's going to open up for the 2nd shot, and then you're right back into the woods on your approaches.
Just to give you an idea of what we're going for here off the tee, this is uphill all the way to the basket for the original hole, the regular hole here.
And Paul's past the original hole.
He went past it. That's great positioning. You really would like to get to the crest of that hill there where the road is, and that'll give you a lot better look on your approach shot compared to if you're a little short, throwing uphill. Tough to shape a shot that way. Zach's got a little different take on this hole. He's going with a tough sidearm route, hoping that it'll pay off for his next shot.
Probably just trying to throw the same shot he would if he was thrown to this tee. And it looked like he caught a tree earlier, got knocked down.
That's all right.
He's up there, but it's going to be way left. He's going to have to work something out and around. Matt's going back up the middle with the backhand. He too caught an early tree, but he's going to have a look at. He'll have a look at getting over the road and towards where you want to be on your next shot. Now, what are you throwing to get the distance on this one?
I'm going to a D1 again. That's yeah. We thought I had a chance to maybe get over the hill, but it ended up getting knocked down, and I still have some work to do.
Yes.
Here comes
That is
Zach's shot.
Wow, that's
All the way
great.
to the woods.
For where he was
And
after
the
that
log,
first
though.
shot, he really made something out of that. Now we're throwing up over that hill like I talked about.
Over a hill, down a hill, into the woods.
If it stalls out left, you could find yourself in some trouble, and you got trees lining the right side pretty tight. So I'm opting to go for a flex forehand around this branch on the left, and then have it carry down the hill.
Kind of line it to get you over 8's tee and in, but you hit that tree up high. Just
You know,
probably too steep of a forehand when you released it.
yeah, I trusted that disc to fight back if it made it through the gap, but you got to get through the gap for it to have a chance to pan out.
Now Paul past 4's basket. Furthest down there, he's being that far up the hill, he has a look at just pretty much throwing it straight across. He doesn't have to elevate it at all. Uphill run up. And he got all of that one. That disc is trying to go to the basket. That is deep. That is in there. Way past our catch cam.
That's a great shot by Paul there. I got knocked down short here, so now I'm thinking, as far as where I stand with Matt and Zach, I've got to get up and down here to really be in control. And if I don't throw this shot well, then I could be in trouble.
Trying to hit the gap on the left and looked like it hyzered out early.
Just hit that big tree next to the cameraman there. Had it got through that gap, I'd probably be on the green putting, but now I've really got a hairy approach shot and getting a little nervous.
Matt's still trying to get into the woods. He caught some stuff, but he got over and past the basket, so he's going to be able to get in for his next shot.
And from where he was at, that's about all you can ask for. Great forehand by Matt there.
Zach's shot, as we showed earlier, landed in a log. He doesn't have any room for a run up. Going with another forehand to get through the woods.
That'll play.
And he got it out there.
Yeah, he is no stranger to some kind of, I don't know if you call it a trick shot, but just a shot that not everyone has in their bag, and he'll turn that disc on any angle, throw it overhand, whatever it takes to get through there.
This would be a normal shot that most of you guys are accustomed to from HT.
Stood up and rolled on me. I thought I was going to have a drop in, and now the pressure's really on with Matt being close.
Couldn't tell if it rode all the way to the ditch or not.
Yeah, this would be an unbelievable 3 for Paul here if he could knock this down.
The ditch below it, he runs it anyway.
Oh,
off the basket.
But
Zach's going to have a similar look just a little bit further up downhill. He knows he needs to make this one to really gain strokes on you and Matt, and knowing that if he can knock it in, he's definitely going to gain 1 or 2 on both of you guys.
right, it definitely wouldn't hurt to put this in. Me or Matt both could have rollaways on this green with the ditch behind, and he just
Hit
throws
the
it a
metal,
little
but
low.
just a little short. Yep. Here's your final putt with some tough footing. Good make. Matt's.
Well, Matt.
That settles it with me and Matt. We're going to end in a tie. So he threw that great sidearm approach. I got in a little bit of trouble halfway down the fairway, and we will be splitting second place.
Paul's putt for par. He's going to finish 5 under for the final 9, which is pretty solid. He had a 4 birdie run there before missing a putt back on hole 7.
Yeah, that was a great tournament by Paul. He really pulled those last few rounds together, and it was fun to watch. He's great competitor, great guy to play with.
Hey, you found your caddy again.
There he is.
Well, we haven't added it up yet.
Logan.
I had a 5 there.
Matt. Zach.
4. 5.
All right, gentlemen. May I introduce you to the 2019 Evansville Open champion, Mr. Paul Ullman. Woo! You're supposed to play last, no?
All right, well, congratulations to Paul on his 8-stroke victory over you and Matt. After 3 rounds and a final 9, everybody played a lot of golf, and I'm sure you guys were happy to get it over with. Thanks for joining me on this final 9 coverage.
Thank you for having me. I really had a lot of fun doing it. I hope our viewers all enjoy what we've put together here, and hope to do it again.